I can absolutely knock Ilia Topuria out on the White House lawn.
How do you know that?
Because I know how crazy this game is. I know the power I possess. I know the skills that I have.
He
I know
possesses
how
a lot of power.
Of course.
Well, how the hell you supposed to find somebody and you ain't around nobody?
Well, I also
you supposed to do?
I also don't leave my house, so there's no way for me to meet people.
I mean, how you gonna meet somebody? You gonna mama gonna bring him home for you? I mean, how you gonna get how that gonna happen?
Ilia Topuria says he's back. What you think about that?
He better be, because I'm supposed to fight him in June on the White House card.
Uh-oh.
That's who I'm fighting.
Oh, that's who you want.
That's who I have to have. That's why I fought for this thing. White House in June, let's go.
Justin Gaethje has made it clear that he plans to stop Ilia Topuria when they meet at the UFC White House event. However, Stephen A. Smith sees things differently and isn't convinced Gaethje will get the result he's predicting. Following his dominant victory over Paddy Pimblett, Gaethje appears focused on one specific goal. He wants Topuria next, believing that a showdown with the champion would be the perfect centerpiece for the White House card. So the big question now is simple. Who will Gaethje face next?
What's next?
Ilia Topuria on the White House. Has to be. Has to be. No other option.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
Walking out of the Oval Office into the cage, wearing the flag.
Entertaining.
I think we're gonna main event it. I think we'll be the main event.
Boom. Let's go. Once in a lifetime.
I'm totally guessing throwing against the wall right now.
Yeah. Universe.
But I mean, what else?
You know what I think will probably happen? You know what I think will probably happen?
We'll see it.
I think there'll be headline. You'll be one of them, so that they can say, like, the man who's never had a bad fight definitely here. So that's a draw. Yeah. And then they put whatever else on there. So I think co-main event. I think for sure.
Co-main. Who's main?
I don't know. I think it'll be a huge. I think it'll be big name thing.
McGregor's been tossed around.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
For that fight.
Yeah, I know it's past time, but name-wise, I think that is.
If it's McGregor, then McGregor's gonna fight me, and we'll be main event. Anyway.
There you go. Okay.
Okay, never had a bad fight. Okay.
Yeah, it would be if Ilia didn't come back, they would strip him. I'd become the undisputed, and then McGregor gets to fight whoever he wants. So I guess.
Meanwhile, Ilia Topuria has reportedly resolved his legal dispute with Georgina Usgate, with the case now officially dismissed. With that issue behind him, Topuria has returned to training and could be preparing for a comeback at the UFC White House event, potentially facing Justin Gaethje. He recently shared new footage from his training session with the caption, "The champ is back." He believes the power he brings into every exchange gives him a constant chance of finding the knockout whenever the opening appears. At the same time, he knows that stepping into the fight also means facing serious danger from the other side. But rather than avoiding that risk, he embraces it, wanting the opportunity to find out what happens when both fighters finally meet inside the octagon.
Ilia Topuria says he's back. What you think about that?
He better be, because I'm supposed to fight him in June on the White House card.
Uh-oh.
That's who I'm fighting.
Oh, that's who you want.
That's who I have to have. That's why I fought for this thing.
That's why he fought for the damn thing. Y'all heard it. Topuria, Gaethje, let's make it happen.
Let's go.
UFC on Paramount Plus. We appreciate y'all. Stay tuned.
White House in June, let's go.
Daniel Cormier warns Justin Gaethje not to trade recklessly with Ilia Topuria, whose knockout power can end the fight instantly. He believes Gaethje cannot afford to take that kind of risk.
This game is how big of a fan I am, how many unpredictable things have happened. I can absolutely knock Ilia Topuria out on the White House lawn.
How do you know that?
Because I know how crazy this game is. I know the power I possess. I know the skills that I have.
He
I know
possesses a lot of power.
Of course, he could knock me out also, but there's no way to find out, and I also will. I just want the chance.
You want him?
Of course.
That's right.
Yeah, he's a champion. If I could do it, it will be the best script. Then I will believe this is all simulation. 100%, because it'll be crazy.
Justin Gaethje sees losing differently. He would rather take risks than simply survive, believing a tough defeat can motivate an even stronger comeback. Colby Covington was highly critical of the Justin Gaethje-Paddy Pimblett fight. He said Gaethje looked tired and slow, while Pimblett appeared overwhelmed by the pressure and made avoidable mistakes. Covington believes the spotlight revealed weaknesses in both fighters.
I'm very proud of myself for losing like that rather than losing by decision. Going one more second and then losing by decision. I fought a terrible fight. I deserved to lose. I wasn't perfect that night. And that knockout is going to make this comeback that much greater. And so I think it's perfect. I think it had to happen. I think it's my story. It's part of my story. I'm trying to write a book, create a movie, create a legacy, and I think that knockout is going to make all this. If I come back and beat Paddy, get undisputed gold by beating Topuria, best story you can ever write in this.
Man, that's
Justin Gaethje admits Paddy Pimblett's comments got under his skin. Because he understands the dangers fighters face in the cage, he takes threats seriously and uses them as motivation, even though he knows they can make him more emotional. Still, Gaethje tries to stay composed and avoids provoking his opponents.
Gaethje looked really bad, but Paddy looked even worse. So, you know, Justin looked just like a really old, slow, punch-drunk dude. I call him the king of CTE because he's been hitting the head a lot. So he's got that CTE, and he just looked bad. But, you know, Paddy looked worse. He didn't look very good. He looked sluggish. He didn't look fast. Hands down a lot. Just very amateur rookie mistakes that he made. But, you know, he's never been in a main event spotlight. So this is his first time getting the main event spotlight and all that requires of a main event fight. You know, it's a lot, man. The media week, the cutting the weight, the media just work you have to do in the lead up to the fight is just, you have to handle a big load. So I think he realized that, you know, it's a lot tougher up there than he thought it was. You know, he was talking a big game, saying he was going to be champion, saying he was going to be this and that, but he'd never been in that spotlight, and he got that spotlight and he didn't pass the test. You know, he froze under the pressure. So, you know, I didn't see anything special. It was a good fight for sure. People like seeing it, but what I saw in the fight, Justin just looked shot. He doesn't look like he has that dog left in him. You know, I don't know. He's just, the CTE really got.
Paddy Pimblett now wants Gaethje to defeat Ilia Topuria and capture the undisputed title, believing that result could eventually lead to another fight between them. Gaethje also reflects on their previous matchup, recognizing how dangerous Pimblett was that night. Despite the frustration surrounding their first encounter, Pimblett accepts what happened and looks ahead with the lessons from the fight.
It's going to look the exact same afterwards. Yeah. We assume in fight promo, like, everything is just kind of what it is. Felt like you actually felt disrespected by that. Is that true? And
yeah, I mean, ultimately it's true. Like, so after these fights, I have to go back to my family, my mother, my father, my brothers, my sisters, my nieces, my nephews. And if my face is different, they are very concerned. And that is what we risk every single time we step in there. You know, it's not death, but it could be chronic injury, but it's definitely, you know, serious injury. And for him to imply that he was going to hurt me, of course I have to take that personal, you know, because we are trying to hurt each other. And honestly, you know, in that fight, we got to get a lot more petty, a lot more irritable, a lot shorter of a fuse. And so I take everything personal. And, you know, as a competitor, you kind of have to use all of that fuel to fire you, to get in there. I honestly made the choice not to talk crap to my opponents anymore because I don't want to fire them up. You know, I want them to go in there with their own inspiration. I'm not trying to inspire them anymore, but that's something I...
Justin Gaethje views his knockout loss to Max Holloway as part of his legacy, not something that diminishes it. He believes setbacks like that make his journey more memorable and give his future comebacks even greater meaning.
Justin Gaethje, I did say before the fight I want the best version of Justin Gaethje, and that Justin Gaethje turned up. So hats off to him. I hope he wins the undisputed title off Ilia, and hopefully we can run it back, even though I don't think he's got too many fights left. Hopefully we can run it back in the future, because there's a couple of things in that fight what have me off, but you know, we get on with it. It's done now. There's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can go back and change. I just hope that in the future he can step up and have a rematch with me, but it's one of them. I know he's on the arse end of his career, so if he does end up just fighting Ilia and fighting Max or something and retiring, it's one of them. I'll have learned a lot from losing that.
Javier Mendez criticized Justin Gaethje's decision to stand and trade with Max Holloway, calling the strategy a poor choice. While he admitted the approach created an entertaining fight, he argued that Gaethje should have mixed and takedown.
It's a much better, you know, story for my legacy to lose like that. Than to let one more second go and I just lose a decision. You know, me getting knocked out and then, you know, coming back having 2 wins in a row, it makes those 2 wins that much more inspiring, and it makes what I'm going to do at the end of my career that much.
And avoided prolonged exchanges on the feet. According to Mendez, the smarter plan was to strike, change levels, take the opponent down, and reposition rather than remain in a constant stand-up battle.